This episode of Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you are listening to the Capes and the Lunatic Sidekicks podcast.
What about our Marvel Boy podcast?
What about our Marvel Boy podcast, huh? The Quantum Zone? What's that?
It's our podcast, Uranus.
An irradiant eternal clone of Bob Grayson on a quest for vengeance against evil bankers and who knows what else.
That's right. He's a crusader.
Only stopped in his holy mission by those 4 busybodies, the Fantastic Four. So join us tonight. See if he triumphs over these 4 villains. And maybe we'll have some Australian feedback. Anyway, welcome back to the Quantum Zone. I am Phil. Master of the Quantum Zone is...
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And Zen Master of the facial hair.
I am Matt. Not the master of the Uranian zone.
See, before we jumped on, Will was all like, he's, are you thinking about shaving soon, you said?
I think so. It's about time to get rid of the quarantine beard.
See, Coda's like, quitter.
Yeah, I'm a quitter. I feel like it makes me look about 70, because it's so gray everywhere. So, yeah, there's that too.
Yeah. I don't know. Looks good. You gotta do some funny pictures of you with just a mustache or with mutton chops in different stages.
Different stages of the shave off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that my wife will have them to embarrass me for the rest of eternity. Yeah. Absolutely.
There you go.
just on the collage of pictures, at your funeral one day to just, it's like, oh yeah, remember Corona? Yes. Look at all the facial hair. We'll try.
I took off. Let's see. This would have been about 10 years ago. I took off a couple of weeks, and I was prepping for my my comps for my dissertation, right? Mm. So I took a picture at the beginning, and then I didn't shave, and then the boys had this, 60s costume wig that was all... So I hadn't shaved, and I put that thing on, and this is me after 2 weeks of messing with it. Yeah, it made sense at the time. Whatever.
That just, I don't know why that just reminded me, but I know for years, when I was in high school, I had a buddy, he grew his hair long, and anytime he came over to my house, my dad would make fun of him until one day he, I don't know if we were looking through pictures for something, but he saw my parents' wedding pictures. Yeah, summer of 77, my dad's got long hair and stuff, and my buddy's like, yeah, see?
Ha ha.
But yeah, so what's new? What's going on? I just watched I watched the new episode of The Flash tonight. Next week is going to be the season finale. It wasn't supposed to be, but they cut it 2 episodes short, because they couldn't film anymore.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I hope it's not too abrupt, but yeah, so I was watching new Flash. I'm trying to think anything else was new. Harley Quinn's coming out on Friday still, the animated series.
What's that on? Is that on the
DC Universe? Yeah,
DC Universe channel.
Oh, okay. But was it last week? They did announce, I guess they're going to start. I don't know how far behind they're going to be, but they're going to start airing that on. I think it's Sci-Fi Network, maybe.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, so of course they'll probably start with the first season. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they'll be a season or so behind once they start airing that, but
it's cool.
Yep. So, what's everyone else been watching? I'm sure Kona's going to be like, Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, I've fallen a little behind in Star Trek. I've watched some movies, just dumb movies and old family feuds from the 70s, which is kind of entertaining. There's a lot of those on YouTube. Just reading.
Oh, that is something I did see. I guess now they're saying, everyone's saying they should just do it, but it looks like New Mutants might just be coming to video on demand or something, because I guess they said you can already pre-order it on Amazon, so.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I don't know when it's coming out, but yes. Please please, they're like, I'm gonna waste that on the theater.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be weird because when they start open up theaters, I think they're gonna be doing social distancing, so you're probably only gonna be able to have like a third of the people in the theater that you usually be able to.
I mean, some of these theaters anyway, I don't know if you have these kind of boutique theaters that have the giant recliner chairs and everything like that. Those are like, those cut down on the capacity of a theater anyway, you could, when you buy your ticket at the counter, you can choose where your seats are. Like, there's 20 seats in this giant theater.
Well, if they're spaced far enough apart, they could probably sell all those. But I don't think we have any of those around here. But yeah, don't they have those ones where it's like, they have tables in there too, so you can like order like dinner and eat dinner while you're watching a movie or something.
Yeah,
dinner and a movie, literally.
It's if you like I've done it just to kind of feel fancy. Like we didn't even want to see the movie. We just were like, whatever's playing, we're gonna go. And he served a beer and nachos that aren't microwaved in front of you by someone in high school. Yeah, and it was kind of neat. I think this movie like 4 Christmases or something. But that's what we went to see at the fancy theater. But I got to watch out for some of those seats, though, because if I get too comfortable, even if I like the movie a lot, I'll doze off.
Yeah.
That happened to me the first time I saw Logan in the theater, and so I knew I fell asleep. Obviously, the credits were rolling, and I told my wife, like, hey, don't tell me what happened. She's like, oh, you mean you missed the part when? And I'm like, big spoiler, I'm sure you can all imagine. And
again, that reminds me of another story. When did the first Matrix come out? I think it was 1999, right? It was 98 or 99.
I think so.
I think
or
so,
97.
Yeah.
But I remember me and my girlfriend at the time, we went to, I think it was like it was either midnight showing or it might have been like 10 or 11, whatever, but it was like late.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we're watching the first part of the movie. She falls asleep in the middle, especially the part where Lawrence Fishburne gives Keanu Reeves the explanation, what the Matrix and everything is. So she wakes up, she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I'll tell you after. It's too much. It's too.
Yeah, that's
go into it in the middle of the movie.
Explanation. Yeah.
1999. Yeah. I was going to say it had to be 98 or 99. But yeah. I was like, you fall asleep in the middle of that. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's tough.
I think what's the news is that there's going to be a Matrix 4 at some point.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while. I don't know, especially these days. I don't know how long that's going to take, but
actually, yeah, I think that's an article that said Keanu Reeves is going to be battling himself because John Wick 4 and Matrix 4 were all going to drop on the same weekend. Well, before all of this, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so funny. Yeah, let's look this up. The Matrix 4.
Will, did you start your Star Trek in order viewing, or is that
we watched the first
back burner?
We watched the first 3 episodes of the original series, and Stace was like, "I'm out." So I'm like, "Okay, let's jump to Next Generation." So we're about 3 or 4 episodes into Next Generation at this point, and
okay, yeah.
And I told her, these first episodes have the feel of the original series, they're,
the pilot was written by Roddenberry and one of the original writers too. Yeah.
And then the episode where they meet the Ferengi, that felt like an original series.
With the Ferengi jumping around.
Like apes, yeah. I'm like, what's going on here?
Human, and they have those energy whips or whatever.
Oh, man, yeah. I did rewatch that one recently.
Yeah, that first season is rough.
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really hit its stride. I mean, season 3, I think, is it really starts hitting a groove. That's got Best of Both Worlds in it with the Borg and all these things.
That's like one of my favorite Best of Both Worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that one episode that gets pointed to where it starts really getting good. I think it's also really where it starts getting more character driven than plot driven is The Measure of a Man, the one where Data basically has to fight for his right to not be disassembled, which kind of leads into some Picard mentions.
Yeah, because that's where we first see Maddox. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But okay, can someone explain to me in the first season why half the time they call a starbase is Starbus?
Starbus. Yeah.
I swear, it's like, oh, setting course for Starbus 7. I'm like,
It's just a quadrant accent thing.
Yeah.
it's just weird.
Yeah.
Before Geordie LaForge became chief engineer.
Yeah. Wearing a
Yeah, that
red
was
suit.
I'd forgotten about that. With him being, and they made a big point of him. Him using the visor causes him pain, and I feel like they just kind of dropped that.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I think
He just learned to tough it out.
I think by
Yeah.
the second or third season, they're just like, oh, what did we write with this stupid visor? It's like, just leave
Whatever,
it. Just
yeah.
don't mention it half the time. But yeah, because you had like rotating. It seemed like chief engineers that first season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, of course, the effects. What was this? 87.
Yeah, first season. Yeah, it started in 87. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a quantum leap. Sorry, not to touch on another sci-fi.
Quantum zone leap.
Yeah, but it was. The effects were much. They were similar. You still had the Enterprise in our orbit around the planet. Or you had it. It was. For episodes we've seen, still really feel like the original series with just different actors.
And I remember watching the first episode when it first aired. I was like 9, I think. But back then, you didn't know better with special effects because that's all we had. It's like, oh, that looks so cool. But now with today's special effects, and you go back and watch it, you're like, I can kind of see the strings,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think too. There's a point where when they beam down to a planet, they're actually going outside. They're not on a sound stage. Because there's just a different quality of light and a different, you can tell when they're on a sound stage that are made up to look like a planet, and
Yeah.
I think that adds something to it. Makes it a little more believable, at least to me.
Yeah.
Well, I think, where did I hear this? It wasn't even that long ago. It might have been an article or something. I think they said in the original series with Kirk and them, they wrote in they invented the transporter because so they wouldn't, I guess,
Have to get in a shuttle and fly down to a planet.
yeah,
every
too
time,
many
yeah.
sets with like the shuttles and stuff. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah. So it was like cheaper to just say, oh yeah, we're beaming down.
I don't know. Hey, we took a shuttle down. Here's pictures of the shuttle.
Yeah.
Because the beaming technology is problematic.
Well, yeah, I mean, many people pointed this out, including Charlie Esser. It's like, it like breaks you down in the energy. And so it's like, are they killing you each time and then just like making a double of you down on the planet?
Yeah. Have you seen the Chaos on the Bridge documentary?
No. Is that on Netflix?
I think it's not. It's you gotta. It is on YouTube, but it's one of those things on YouTube where to get around the copyright, you have to watch it like in a box with a picture behind it. So if you can kind of get past that, I mean, it's not like a visually stunning thing, and it's only about an hour long anyway. But it's interesting because it was put together by William Shatner about the kind of rocky road that the beginning seasons of the Next Generation had. But it's interesting. There's some pretty good stuff in there.
So, Chaos on the Bridge. All right, I'll have to look that
Chaos
one
on
up.
the Bridge. Yeah.
And I don't know when it starts, but did you guys see that? I guess there's going to be like a behind the scenes, I think it's 8 episodes, documentary on the making of The Mandalorian.
Oh, no.
8 episodes? An episode for...
I think...
Just an episode for... Yeah.
I guess, unless... I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking on Disney Plus. I don't see it yet, so it might not be out. But yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to come out. But yeah, it's a behind the scenes thing. Unless they just did that because of Corona and stuff. But because I know Mandalorian season 2 is supposed to be coming eventually, but I don't know how much they had filmed.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe an episode for each episode in season 1. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like okay,
that's fine.
What about our Star Trek podcast? I'm sorry.
Star Trek, Star Wars. Hey, it's all called
Star Wars.
Yeah, may the 5th be with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cinco. Oh yeah, this will be 2 weeks later, but yeah, we're recording on Cinco de Mayo. Yesterday was Star Wars Day.
It's also the anniversary of the first date my wife and I went on.
Ooh.
The anniversary.
Many years ago. Many years ago.
Okay, Whitebeard, we get it. You're old.
She likes to say, it's really weird that, because you're old and, my parents let you date me when I was like 3 because I'm not old.
What?
Like, no, Stace, we're
the
same age.
Prearranged marriage. Yeah.
That's right. I'm like 8 years and some change older than my wife, so yeah.
I'm basically, I'm almost a year older.
Ooh,
so she's like, she's like, you're old. I'm like, yeah, you're still you're still 29, right, Stace? Let's start doing the math.
Oh, don't do the math with the wife. Never do the math with her. But yeah, my mom's like 6 months older than my dad. He's always saying he's with an older woman.
Yeah,
it's funny. I'm from a different generation, man. I'm into Star Wars. You're into Empire Strikes Back.
That's right.
What about you?
So I sent them in a message, but you can find the documentary on YouTube without the annoying screen thing. But there are Spanish subtitles, but it's in English. So just either learn Spanish or ignore it. So.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Or use the Amazon link and through the Capes and Lunatics page
and purchase it via Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe I can even put that in the show notes for this episode also. All right, we want to get to this issue.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Fantastic Four 165 from December 1975. Oh, Conan and I weren't born yet.
I was alive, barely.
But yes, editor Roy Thomas, guest artist once again George Perez, Joe Sinnott, embellisher. I was gonna say embezzler.
He took the funds made from the 25 cents this comic book earned.
That's right.
John Costanza, letterer, and Petra Goldberg, colorist. Oh yeah, it's a whole quarter.
Hey, they don't have the editor-in-chief listed. Interesting.
I
wonder if that was Roy Thomas at the time. I think he was editor-in-chief, right?
Well, it says he was editor, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So remember, Reed Richards is on the hunt for this fake Marvel boy, the Light of Other Worlds. All right. I love this. This month's instant synopsis. Having helped rescue the Human Torch after his near-tragic battle with the self-styled Crusader. Oh, man.
Delete you?
Yeah, I might not have the sound effect. I had to, redo some of my sounds, so... here we go. There.
Close enough. Last issue, Roy.
Oh, just Roy at the door.
A bone-weary Reed Richards stilt walks his way towards Greenwich Village. But we'll have to forgive the FF's leader if even now his thoughts stray a bit. Oh, you know what? Have we ever got a Mr. Fantastic versus Stilt Man fight?
I don't know. That would be interesting.
Yes,
I think it'd be over pretty quick because...
Yeah, he can take more. He can. Mr. Fantastic can do more shapes and stuff. Stilt Man just basically goes up and down.
All right, here we go. I only wish I felt as restored to glorious health as I led on. The old legs are working fine, but it's a good thing it takes relatively little effort for me to stretch them in a straight line, because I'm as short of breath as a refugee from a cigarette anti-commercial. Okay. Well, this is hardly the time to be worrying about my problems. When down there is a woman with real tragedy on her hands. Good, an ambulance has arrived already, and they haven't covered the victim's face. That means he's still alive. Well, time to make a colorful entrance.
I'll be the cop.
Okay.
What's that up there? It ain't a pigeon or a plane. Hey, just who the devil are you anyway?
Obviously someone not quite as famous as we might imagine.
Relax, Sarge. Relax, Sarge. It's Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. What are the Fantastic Four, right? Real name's Richard Reed.
Close enough.
Well, this ain't amateur night, Plastic Sam. Mrs. McClary's very upset, so why don't you just buzz off to outer space or wherever you're...
Officer, wait. Yes, outer space. I just realized how that fiend might have known my poor husband's name.
What? Tell us, ma'am, please.
Well, let me summarize. It was years ago, just before the outbreak of World War II, a friend of Kelvin's, a Dr. Horace Grayson, you might remember hearing of him, claimed he had invented a rocket capable of reaching outer space. Kelvin was already head of his bank, and Dr. Grayson came to him.
But Cal, without this loan, I may not complete my rocket, and I must.
I'm sorry, Horace. I wish. If only you had some collateral.
Never mind. I'll find a way to escape this planet. I must for young Robert's sake.
Weeks later, he vanished, never to be heard from again, his infant son with him.
Begging your pardon, ma'am, but what does that have to do with this?
His voice, officer. I knew I recognized the Crusader's voice. It was younger, stronger, but he had Dr. Grayson's voice. Ominous words. And next day, at the bank of which Kelvin McClary is president...
Be lunch soon. Wonder what the wife's packed me to eat. Best not to think about it. Hey, what's metal? Hot metal. And it's fallen from the roof?
Do you have any metal dripping sound effects?
No, I just have a new blaster.
Is it the T-1000?
Oh. Then an eye-dazzling flash, which fortunately for those within, they see only in part, and trouble drops in.
Who the...
Charlie, it must be that guy they say zapped Mr. McClary.
The name is Crusader, fool, and this will assure that you never forget it. He smacks him. Where's my punch? Nor will that toy help you against me.
Holy Hannah!
This was his bank. All that is evil is found here within these four walls, and they shall not stand.
That was awesome.
And sad to say, they soon do not, so that nothing but an empty shell of the bank remains by the time the vengeful Crusader has finished his work, while from Midtown the Fantastic Four learn of his handiwork with awe and alarm. There is frankly much to hear about, for in the days that follow, 2 more branches of that bank are attacked, and each time the frustrated FF are on the scene, but only to view the shattered remains. They are not a pretty sight. I love the headline, Self-Appointed Crusader Strikes Again.
Man, that was the third branch of the Franklin
do you see that?
Franklin Pierce National Bank. Does anyone know who Franklin Pierce was? The last president born in New Hampshire.
Oh.
The only one. But
nice. You lay down some knowledge, son.
New England, baby. And meanwhile...
Do you see it down here at the very bottom under the headline? It says, J. Jonah Jameson notes strong resemblance between Crusader and Spider-Man.
That's nice. I hadn't noticed that.
That's great. Good call. Good catch.
Jeez. Mr. Jameson. All right, thing.
Nuts! Why don't that Crusader kook come out in the open and slug it out man to man? Well, if I ever get my mitts on him,
Ben, please, no violence in front of little Franklin.
Perhaps doing these latest bank films will help some. How? Somehow. Sorry.
You want to solve problems? Try solving mine. I blew a date with a gorgeous chick who was really digging my style, and now that she knows I'm a flaming freak, she hangs up on me when I phone.
Oh, Tootsie Roll, kid. Hey, big brain. Since our boy never stole nothing, what do you expect to learn watching them films? To coin a phrase, this ain't bank night at the movies, you know?
That's just it, Ben. It was never bank night, or even morning for that matter. The Crusader invariably attacks at midday, and then only on sunny days like the ones I've circled.
Yeah? And we arrive on the scene about 10 minutes after he split. You pick up another brick for your collection and we go home.
There's method in my madness, old friend.
Oh, well, now, that makes me feel all better. Of course, if I was manager of a Grover Cleveland National Bank, I might be less philosophical about it. The papers say people are staying away from all their banks in droves.
What is it, Corona? Then why aren't we out patrolling like crazy? Johnny, Reed's the leader of this team. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Thanks, honey. I just hope you're... Uh-oh.
Now what, Stretch? Somebody's cat stuck up a tree?
No chance, Ben. That signal means my radiation grid is about to be activated.
And that means...
that the Crusader is striking again at this very moment. According to the grid, the primary radiation source is in Sector 3, coordinates 10-54.
English, Rubber Man. I keep telling you, English.
The Bronx, Ben.
Wow, I didn't think anybody went there anymore. Well, Franklin, I guess it's time to turn you over to Aunt Alicia for a little while. Are you coming, Reed?
Negative. I've got things to do here. You three get moving right now.
Ooh. Moments later, the window washers and sky-gazing tourists in Manhattan get a decided thrill as a silver bullet called the Fantasticar streaks across the Monday skyline toward... who's
The
got
Bronx, sheesh. I ain't hardly been up here since the Giants moved to Frisco. Hot dogs and beer at the Polo Grounds. They just don't make Sunday afternoons like that no more.
I only wish we knew what plan Reed has up his sleeve, if any. He's so haggard and preoccupied lately, ever since our last encounter with Dr. Doom. No editor's note. But
Yeah, that's lame.
But I'm his wife, not his mother. I'll learn what's wrong when Reed is ready to tell me. And Johnny flying alongside, thinking, I know I shouldn't waste energy flying north when I could ride, but after the way that Crusader crumb messed up my love life, it's the only way I know to let off steam. And it'll take more than a short hop uptown to cool me down. Get it? 'Cause he's hot. Well, here's the bank. Wish I'd asked Reed what kind of radiation he detected. He'd never let us come alone if it was deadly. Oh well. While inside Grover Cleveland National Bank, assets 14 million customers today.
Only three customers, and they're all making withdrawals. I tell you, this so-called Crusader is sending me to the poorhouse.
But, Mr. Morgan, you can't expect people to endanger their lives just to bank at Cleveland National. Matter of fact, the wife's been after me to give you a notice and...
Wait a minute.
Look, I got a right to quit if I...
That's not what I mean. The whole place is getting warmer, and the heat's coming from that wall.
From beyond the wall, fool! From me!
It's the Crusader. It's got to be.
As indeed it is, both of you. And since you seem to be in charge of this institution of oppression...
Let go, please.
Anything you say, and he whips him. Nice catch, sis, as he hits an invisible force field. You again, and this time you're not alone. Well, you know how unsafe the streets are these days, crew baby.
Stop making small talk with them, Torchy, and let me clobber the bum.
Careful, both of you. Good advice, invisible girl, as I believe they call you, for your friends cannot defend themselves from what they cannot see. Hear that, Ben?
Yeah, but these special contact lenses that Reed made are just what the doc ordered. I'm blinking a lot, but I can still see.
So, I might have known from all I've read that you would come prepared for our next meeting. But if sheer light alone will not stop you as it did the torch before, then you'll soon find that light has more deadly uses for me if you dare face me above. As he crashes through the ceiling. Yeah. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but what that guy just said didn't make sense. If he's so high and mighty, how come he wants to play on the roof instead of totaling us where we stood? And so he's like, Johnny, be careful. No, I've got to stop playing big sister all the time. Johnny's a man now. He knows what he has to do.
Eat that rat toasted until we get up there, okay?
So only one of you dares follow me, eh? Is he Canadian? The one I already defeated. Well, this time you'll not escape with your life. We'll see, sonny boy. Don't call me boy. Look, we know we've got a slight grudge against Kelvin McClary and his bank, But what's the son of Horace Grayson doing turning into a murderer? I'm swinging wild, but I've got to keep him talking if I can. You know who I am, do you? Then you know I seek not murder, but justice. Justice for what they did to my father 3 decades ago. If you know my father...
before World War II, 3 decades ago.
Yeah.
Yes. If you know my father's name, you probably know he disappeared. He harnessed certain gravitational forces, even as the Earth tottered on the edge of the abyss called the Second World War. For he dared to dream, did my father, of a brighter, purer place, a place to which he would carry me, his infant son. And where was that? Where did he go? Uranus! A giant planet nearly 2 billion miles from Earth. A cold, forbidding world receiving only 350th.
Wow.
The heat and light that Earth does. Yet home of a super civilization so old it had forgotten its own dim origins. Man, you planet so old. Its people welcomed my father and found that, for all their science, there still was much he could contribute to their peace and prosperity. And I grew up there knowing and caring little of the harsh methane winds, which roared outside the Omnidome. The harsh methane winds.
On Uranus.
Man. In time, I returned to Earth for a while, fighting evil with more primitive wristbands, which merely blinded my foes. They called me Marvel Boy.
As told in Marvel Boy and Astonishing circa 1950-1951 and reprinted in the late 60s.
And discussed 2 episodes back. On my final trip...
Amazing that Horace Grayson should be alive on another world and requesting a loan.
For certain medical supplies badly needed.
I tend to believe you, but my board wouldn't. Sorry. Not approved.
Application not approved. It took time, but at length I obtained what I needed and let Uranus' own gravity pull me homeward. Uranus is so big it has its own gravitational pull. Only to witness a sight I wish I had not lived to behold. The dome city lay in awful, icy flamed ruins. At first I thought it had been war, the sneak attack of some other star spy on the race. But as my invisible heat shield kept me alive outside my ship just long enough to discover, natural forces had destroyed the Omnidome, frozen my poor father, frozen all within, even the girl I loved, that child.
The child, yes.
Uranus had reclaimed her own. And it was no more home to me. If I had but been there, either to help or else to perish by their side. But no, I was detained on Earth by a hard-hearted banker's rubber stamp. I streaked for Earth, intent on vengeance, even then, only to stray into the tail of a comet, which you have since named Kohoutek? Which by freakish the meteor hits him. Which by freakish accident hurled me into suspended animation for several too long years, even as it bore me earthward. Kohoutek never came very close to Earth, I'm told, but Earth's gravity pulled my ship free of the comet's grip, and I crash landed here. Since that time, more than a year ago, I have prepared myself for this campaign of terror. First, the death of Calvin McClary, then the destruction of his financial empire. He's nutty as 2 fruitcakes. Good thing Reed talked the cops into playing like McClary's dead for a while, or else this Joker tear up Metro General Hospital trying to finish the job.
That's an awesome shot of the quantum bands.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, that just looks really cool.
Now you see, Torch, why I cannot allow you to halt my mission of justice.
Oof, the way that jerk's sounding off, we could have come up the long way through China. Oh well, story time's over. Time to get to work.
Nice.
Bam.
Winds of space, I was a fool. I should have known the Torch's henchmen would come after us.
Henchman. That does it, Junior. I don't care if you ain't a day over 20. I'm gonna... Yeah.
20. I'm well over 30. No gravitational space travel does strange things to a man. or Will's wife. Now desist from this foolhardy resistance, or...
Assist from? Creepo, you've been away a long time. Even Doc Doom don't talk that corny. Well, if you can use them kind words, you're old enough to clobber, so come here.
Stay back. It is not my fault if I refuse to lower myself to the colloquialisms of a world I despise. You cannot long resist my light beams, and you know it. You could be right, Bright Eyes. But we'll see how your little sunbeams do without the real sun to back them up. Then, you know?
I know, Crusader, or at least I guessed. Some debris I examined showed me your powers were derived from solar radiation, and this artificial cloud bank will show what they'd be like at midnight.
So who says hoo-ha? Is that the thing, or?
Probably. Hoo-ha! It's Reed! I tell you this about them powers, String Bean. They ain't much. The uppercut.
I knew Reed was up to something, but I couldn't be sure what. Now, if my force field can just keep the cloud bank from dispersing, you won't have to do it for long, sis. Ow.
You'll spit, Fireball. I'm the guy the Crusader blamed. He had knocked off the roof with them ever-ready batteries of his, and a thing like that just naturally upsets my sunny disposition.
When titans clash. It's been said before, but is never truer than now. Because those thing Hulk fights, were nothing compared to this.
Yeah.
For though the sun no longer feeds power to the Crusader through his ominous wristbands, the embattled thing still must reckon with that which was already stored up.
Cut it out! I got me a sore wisdom tooth in there.
Yet, what to Benjamin J. Grimm is a potential swollen jaw is rather more of a catastrophe for one Pearson P. Morgan. An hour ago, he was heir apparent to the coveted presidency of Grover Cleveland National Bank. Now, he is manager of a junkyard. There, that should dispose of you, gargoyle.
You gotta be kidding, Sonny Jim. Them blows of yours are getting weaker by the minute. I could take 'em till you're pooped, and then... Hey, stop! Hey, stop taking it on the land while I'm threatening you.
I am not fleeing.
Ugh.
He knocks a security guard away. I am simply attacking with whatever means lie at hand as he rips the door off the vault and hits the thing with it.
Good Lord, that safe door cost the bank thousands.
And the human body's worth about $1.50. So put the difference on my bill. Me? I got some plain and fancy clobbering to take care of. And as my dear old Aunt Petunia used to say, there's no time like the present. She had a real way with words. You're getting groggy? I can feel it. Guess it's time for the old clincheroo.
Fool! If I turn up the settings on my wrist dials, it's you who will be finished. Now stand aside, fire one ineffectual bullet at me, and I shall kill you.
Shoot him. He may be lying.
I'm not taking any chances.
Ha, my bluff worked, but I'm growing weaker by the moment. What? You! Must I fight 3 of you this time?
You better believe it, mister.
Is that Reed's?
Oh, sorry. You're too much of a menace for us to go according to Hoyle.
Very well, then it'll be to the death. Your deaths! I'll set my bands for the maximum absorbency of solar energy, and already I feel the sun's matchless power beginning to... No! I'm absorbing too much power. Painful. Too much, but why? Why? Then he sees the fast dispersal. Father! I did it all for you, Father! Once more, there was a burning, blinding flash, one against which even special contact lenses can scarcely protect those closest to the man who was Bob Grayson, or incredible facsimile. Then he is no more.
Okay, crew baby. I'm all over that love tap you gave me, so... Hey, where'd he go so fast?
I'm not sure, Ben, but our best bet is that the cloudless sun caused an overload of solar power, turning him to scattered random atoms. Only thing left are these broken wristbands.
It was horrible.
Yeah, after all, he was really just a crazy, mixed-up kid who...
Where is he? Why haven't you caught him yet? That fiend robbed my bank, and I demand that you...
Ah, shut up!
Put me down, I order you. I was only safeguarding the bank's money.
Yeah, you're right, guy. A man and his money shouldn't be parted, I guess.
Where are you? Ben, don't do anything rash.
Oh, Reed, his terrible temper. Do you think he'll...
I hope not, honey. But we'd better go after him before...
Hey, did the thing drag the bank manager in?
There they are, people. And anybody who digs them out of there before closing time is going to answer me here.
Let me out of here.
Boy, Scrooge McDucked him. He doesn't have the swimming powers of old Scrooge. You wanted your money? You got it. Now pipe down while your mouth's still empty.
Reed, do you think the Crusader was really destroyed?
That's still Johnny, I think.
Oh, so we know so little about solar energy. Couldn't...
Hello?
I don't know, Johnny. For once, I don't have all the answers.
This is one day I gotta go mark down on our calendar. And even then, I'm gonna play like it never happened. Quick, Susie, point me to the way back to the Fantastic Car.
Why, Ben?
Oh, this is one day. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, the Crusader will kind of be back, right? Because when Thanos resurrects him in Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And if you want to know the continuation, what happens to the quantum bands, check out Quantum Zone Episode 1, Quantum Zone Episode 1 and Quasar Number 1.
From a ways back.
Yes. Reed put them in storage, and they eventually go upstate.
Ship them the shield, yeah. Well, wait, Reed examined them, then what? Send them the shield, and then they were going to send them to Tony Stark, right?
I think so, yeah.
Which is kind of Grunwald's way of saying, because remember in Wendell's first appearance in Cap 218, he's like, oh, Anthony Stark's boys made me these fancy wristbands.
Yeah.
You.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yep. So there's the bands.
Yep. And in oh my lord, can you imagine if one of them would have put those bands on? They wouldn't have come off.
Yeah.
So. And then
you're complaining about, complaining about him not fighting or dismissing the fact that the Thing has fought the Hulk before. But if you keep reading the Fantastic Four, that's the next issue.
Yes.
Cosmic Slug Out.
And a surprise ending, I think, or that one or the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a surprise ending. At least is promised on the cover. So.
Yeah, I think it's a few issues after this where Luke Cage takes the Thing's place. Spoilers.
Yeah, because Crystal was it Crystal or Medusa that took Sue's place while she was pregnant with Franklin toward the end? Was it Crystal?
I forget, because they both kind of took her place at certain points.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, spoilers. In the issue or two, the Thing loses his powers, and then Luke Cage takes his place just long enough for Reed to make a Thing suit. A Thing exoskeleton. Yeah. Which would come back in the 90s when he lost his powers.
It would, yes. With Miss Marvel / She-Thing, Sharon Ventura, right? Yep.
Hey, guys, what do you think Ray thought about this issue?
I don't know. How about we find out?
Roll the clip.
What about that crazy Australian? All right. Again, everyone, this is Ray from Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, what you should know.
Hello, Quantum Zone. This is Ray, dropping in some thoughts for Fantastic Four 165. I read this just last night. It is bright and crisp and early in the morning here, so still fresh in the mind. I enjoyed it. Crusader showcased a bit more of his powers, revealed here, so I'm assuming later on he gets retconned, as I remember, Will, you're saying that he ends up being a clone or something. But in this issue, I guess it's just meant to be established that he is Marvel Boy. We get a nice little origin again. But no, I loved it. The fights between the Fantastic Four, the Thing, it just shows how powerful the Fantastic Four are, because the Thing took on the Crusader and he almost wiped him out, and then the Crusader had like 3 others to contend with after that. So no, really fun issue. Not really much else to say other than I loved Perez's art. Very cool. I love, just thinking about the other day, is Perez and Bob Layton, which I've been reading a lot of classic Hercules, but I know he's done a lot of Iron Man as well.
Yes.
Bob Layton's another great artist. But yeah, Perez, fantastic. And I know, Phil, you have got a kinship to Ron Friends as well. He's pretty cool too. But anyway, so Crusader was good. I loved how he kind of got dispersed at the end. Too much solar radiation. I don't think that would ever happen to Superman, would it? Anyway, keen to hear your thoughts. And keep it quantum.
What was that, Crack? What are you trying to say, Superman's better than Quasar, Ray? All right, Ray, you asked for it.
Batman.
Who's your favorite hero, Ray?
Batman.
Out of the pouch. Boing.
So I guess what's the retcon that this was the clone, but he was completely convinced he was Bob Grayson.
Yeah, I think so. He was kind of nuts. I was going to locate my Agents of Atlas hardcover I've got around here somewhere, and I didn't get a chance to find it, so I'll do that for the next time.
So, because remember, real Marvel Boy never wore the Quantum Bands.
That's right, because he's still alive.
Yep.
And in Agents of Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
So next 3 episodes, we get Quasar issues, people.
Nice.
Who?
Oh, yes. Some book called Quasar. Yeah, next one's Quasar 41, of course, with Marvel Boy, who takes a new name. And the Avengers and Hercules. Yeah, Ray, Hercules, especially Matt Kona Hercules, is going to be in the next episode.
Verily.
Thor
verily.
and Hercules. Yes. Quasar 42. Then the episode after, Quasar 42. Punisher, baby. And we see a character named Quasar. Find out what happened to him.
Who?
And then Quasar 43. The fight for the title.
That's right.
I mean, we'll get more into that later, but it's just weird because it's like Thanos set up Marvel Boy to be his protector of the universe, but then you really don't hear anything about Thanos doing anything,
Anything with him, yeah.
We really don't hear from anything from Thanos again until issue 59.
Yeah, and that's a fill-in issue. That's the only issue that Grunwald didn't write,
Yep.
Yeah. So weird.
All righty. So, any other thoughts, or should we get out of here?
No, I don't really have that much to say about it. I enjoyed part 1 to this saga a little bit more, but whatever.
Really? Because it seemed there was more action in this issue, wasn't there?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I like that it comes to a conclusion, but I don't know, something about it, maybe the long monologues and the flashbacks weren't doing it for me. But I don't know. Something about I felt like the first issue was a little bit more. I don't know.
What?
That was just going on in immediate reaction.
Just first the banker's wife and then the Crusader just be like, let me tell you a tale,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and the ending is a little, I don't know, to put it, to set him up as being so powerful, that he, and then blows up. I mean, it was kind of.
Well, I mean, it gave Grunwald.
He could be defeated by overcast clouds,
Yeah.
So is it that he didn't have full use of the bands? It's I don't think we've never seen Wendell charging with solar power. It's always through the quantum zone.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, I mean, if we go with kind of what Grunwald was retconning, I think he didn't really have access to the quantum zone.
Yes.
Because Eon hadn't opened up his mind to the full the abilities of the band. So he was just using them to suck EM power from whatever was around, right? Sunlight in this case, I guess.
So I guess he really couldn't control it either, because if it was too sunny of a day, he was like, oh no.
Well, I mean, and I feel like Grunwald was saying, with what was the test pilot's name in issue 1? Wesley Williams? Was that his name?
It was William
something
Wesley
like
or Wesley Williams, something. Yeah, I know.
Something like that.
WW,
Once he started using a certain amount of power, it started that feedback loop. So I guess that was...
And he fought...
Grunwald was using this and trying to explain.
And he fought it too, remember? He was like...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Grunwald was the master of the, not really retcon, but continuity,
Yes. Continuity, what's that? We never get that anymore. So let's get out of here. All right. So yes, send your thoughts. Next episode, Quasar 41, followed by Quasar 42, and then Quasar 43. Then we'll get to those Guardians of the Galaxy issues. All right.
Cool.
So email your thoughts, all your Marvel Boy thoughts to capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow the Quantum Zone on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out the YouTube channel. Get everything all in one convenient place. Links to everything. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support sponsors: Tweaked Audio, Hunt-A-Killer, Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. And you all know you're using Amazon now, so use the link in the show notes. Send some money to Southgate Media Group and Rob Southgate, because believe it or not, these do cost money to put up.
Go back and look at my history, and you will find out I am right so much more often than I'm wrong. Mark my words.
Matt Kona, where can people find you lounging on the couch watching TV?
At Matt Kona, MATTKONA. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Give me something to engage in, so I'm not just looking at my phone all day. But that's where I am. Sometimes I'll be posting some comedy things or some funny photos or other projects, but that's where I'll be. See you later, bunkies!
Will Allred, master of the Quantum Zone.
You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED. That's Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and all those places. You can also find my self-published work, Diary of Night, at diaryofnight.com, and all kinds of really cool and interesting stuff about Quasar at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Nice.
I'll put it in my navel. Exactly.
Best drop ever. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Quantum Zone, the Marvel Boy podcast.
Crusader!
Next episode, we jump back to the, post-Infinity War era as Marvel Boy comes up with a new name and tries to join those losers, the Avengers.
What losers? It's not like it's ever beat Thanos or anything.
And we finally answer the question, where does Black Widow go?
Question we've been wondering about since Operation Galactic Storm.
And hey, what are Kayla and HD up to? It's been a couple weeks since we checked in. Hey Ray, HD. Alright. So yes, do your homework. Quasars 41, 42, and 43. Come back next time. And remember, Quantum Zoners, keep it solar.